Hi, let me introduce myself. I'm Steve Olmos. I'm a real estate professional in the Tri-County area of Southern California, over there by the Orange County, San Bernardino, and LA County. Anyway, this is a quick series of webinars, let's say webinar on buying your first home, lesson 101. Okay, over the years, and I've been at it since 1980, with a number of first-time buyers, and of course the first questions that come out is whether I'm ready to buy a home, where should I buy a home, how much can I afford when looking to buy a home. Now these are all questions that, as a first-time buyer, you have a hard time even understanding where to start. First question, of course, is, am I ready to buy a home? Well, you can look at what you're paying for rent, if you are paying rent, or if you're working or living at home. What is your monthly income? Do you have a steady monthly income, and have you had a steady monthly income for a period of time? Is someone going to be co-signing for you to help you purchase your home? Do they understand your co-signer understand the liabilities on their part? If they do. Okay, those are just some of the fast upfront questions, because first thing you're going to need to do when looking for a home is to find out how much you can afford. Now, the real estate professional you'd select probably give you a strong understanding of what percentages of your income can be put to use in purchasing a home. Now, you're going to definitely want to be pre-qualified or pre-approved by a lender. Now, selecting the lender can also be a question of what you want to do. Selecting a lender, you can either go through a bank or a mortgage lender. Mortgage organizer, like to be called. A mortgage organizer is going to have a little bit more flexibility in finding you the right program that fits your needs. A bank may have slightly lower interest rates in many cases, but being a first-time buyer, again, banks can be very difficult to work with. They're all going to have their issues. You're basically going to look at qualifiers. You know, they're going to want to know how long you've been in the job, how steady your income is, what your income is, what your expenses are. And of course, your credit is going to be very important when it comes to this. Now, if you do have dings on your credit, or if you've had issues with your credit, or you've had past dues, well, time to start cleaning that up is now. Because you won't be able to buy a home if your credit is too low. So you definitely want to start working on that. Now, there is a number of agencies out there that can give you a hand on that. There's a number of professional real estate agents that can actually turn around and guide you, can't tell you, but guide you as to how to work on fixing your credit or cleaning up your credit so that you can buy a home. Okay. Next question you're going to want to ask, well, how much should I spend for a home? Let's take a good example. How much are you paying for rent? Okay. With the tax deductions for buying a home, that means you're going to be able to spend a larger percent per month on a home purchase payment than you would in rent. Because, of course, you have the deductions of the interest rate at the end of the year for your purchase. And in the old rule used to be it's equivalent to like having 3 deductions on your W-2. Anyway, and again, that's an old rule. Look with your tax person on all that part of it. But there is a money savings issues with buying a home. Also, if you do buy a home, you have the right to do what you want to do with that home, because it is your home. Now, of course, if you buy where there is a homeowner association, you have to follow the guides of what that homeowner association is. If you buy in a historical area, you have to follow the guides of the historical area. But in general, the home is yours, and you have options to do with the home to get it to what is yours personalization, which you can do with a rental, of course. Then, of course, if you are looking, you are going to want to make sure you buy in an area that's suitable for you. Now, there's a lot of different aspects to buying a home and where you're going to look. You have to ask yourself a question, is how far are you willing to travel? How much do you need the aspects of shopping and freeway access? what kind of community are you looking for? Are schools important? What are the rating of schools? There's a lot of information out there you can find and your real estate professional can find for you. These are questions you ask up front. Now, once you decide on the kind of area you want, the structures of what you're looking for, then the idea is to turn around and find out what can you afford. Okay, and again, this comes down to getting a loan. Now, you can go to your bank. They're going to go over your numbers. You're going to have to supply them with your tax returns, your credit report, and your pay stubs for the last few months so that they can establish grounds for you. And they can tell you whether or not you can get approved for whatever number. Now, in general speaking, if you want to get a fast idea of what you can afford, you basically can look at your income. And of course, we're talking about income 2 to 3 years established, because banks are going to be looking at very tough right now in this particular market. We're talking about the first month of January here of 2013, and loans are extremely difficult to get. So credit's going to be important, and establishment on your job is going to be important. So take your income, monthly, yearly, whatever you're looking at, and multiply that by 0.40. And you can go a little bit higher than this, but this is going to give you a strong ballpark, and you can go a little, like I said, a little higher depending on what you're looking at. That's going to give you a number. From that number, deduct your expenses. If you have car payments, you don't have to cut your rent because you're buying a home, so rent's not going to be an issue at this point, okay? Car payments, credit cards, so forth. Now, even if you don't owe any money on your credit card and you have a zero balance on it, the banks are going to consider a $25 monthly minimum payment on this credit card. So if you have 6 credit cards, $25 each is going to come out at the bottom of that. So you may not want to carry a lot of credit cards if you have no zero balances on it. Okay. Then you're going to turn around, and that's going to be your monthly, what you can afford to spend for a house per month. Okay, now, that number is going to be based on whatever the interest rate. At this time, the interest rates are around 4, a little above, a little below. They're moving all the time, of course. You're going to be able to say, well, how much, and you can use a calculator on my site, steveolmos.com, which will transfer over to my wife's mortgage site, which is mortgagemarketingmentor.com, which has a calculator, real estate calculator in there. And you can kind of calculate what your monthly payments are. And then there's also apps out there, a number of apps out there that you can put a number in and give you a calculation based on the percentage rate. Again, in today's market, 4, 4.25 would be a good number to kind of work with. Your first time buyer, you might want to use 4.25 because interest rates at the present time are going to be a little bit higher for some of the FHA programs and even some of the conventional programs. So a little higher based on wherever you stand on your credit report. I mean, of course, you're new, so you're going to have some issues that they're going to have to look at and make sure that you can qualify for that loan. Okay, this is going to give you a number. That number is going to be what you can afford. Now, what you can do is you can go to your real estate professional or find yourself a real estate professional in an area that you like to consider. And this way you have a pre-approval. You say, this is what I can afford. This is the kind of home I would like. What can I find? Okay. Anyway, this is Steve Olmos. This is the first part of series on webinars we're going to do. This is Buying a Home Webinar 101, let's say. And I'll get to you on the next one, and we'll go from there. Anyway, this is Steve Olmos. My websites are steveolmos.com and lookingrealestate.com. And as I said, I work in the Southern California area, and the Tri-County areas of southern, let's say, San Bernardino, Orange County, and LA. So if you're looking for a property in that particular section, let me know. If you need a professional real estate in the area you're in, we'll definitely look and see if we can find you a good agent to work with. Anyway, thank you. Talk to you later. Thanks.